Factor the polynomial 6x to the third plus 3x squared minus 3x. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see what's in common with all three terms. 6, 3, 3. A 3 is in common, so that can come out of everything. And then as far as the variables go, x to the third, x squared, x, and x is in common with everything. And what's left goes inside parentheses. 3x times what makes 6x to the third? Well, 3 times 2 makes 6, so 2 goes here. X times x squared makes x to the third, so x squared goes here. And then 3x times what makes 3x squared? Well, 3 times 3 is 1. X times x makes x squared, so it's going to be a plus x. And then 3x times what makes negative 3x? That's a negative 1. Okay, so 3x comes out of the trinomial. Now we need to look and see if the trinomial can be factored again. 2x squared plus x minus 1. What we do is we multiply the first and the last term. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Then we have to see if factors of negative 2 can add to make positive 1. And again, because this is positive, the greater factor is going to be positive. So it's going to have to be 2 and then negative 1. Well, let's see, 2 plus negative 1, that does equal 1, so this can be factored. So let's see, this is going to be 3x times 2x squared plus 2x minus 1. So I went ahead and used our little factors here and made a new middle term, split it up. I have to see what's in common with both the first two terms and then the last two terms, so it's still going to be a 3x out here. And then a 2x comes out of both. And that leaves another parentheses. 2x times what makes 2x squared? That's x. And then 2x times what makes 2x? That's plus 1. Close the parentheses there. And then for the second two terms, a negative is in common, so I'm just going to put out a negative. And really what it is an invisible 1, but we just write it invisible, so negative here. But think of it as a negative 1. So negative 1 times what makes negative x? Well, that's x. Negative 1 times what makes negative 1? Well, that's a 1, so put plus 1. And close both parentheses. So now comes the grouping part. There's an x plus 1 and x plus 1, so they can be grouped. You're going to have a 3x, and then times, well, the 2x, and then the minus the invisible 1 here. It's going to be 2x minus 1, and then times x plus 1. Okay, so there are three factors, 3x, 2x minus 1, x plus 1.